All right, that was a fucking awesome show. I was not expecting that after listening to the album. Then watching that live, that was just two different worlds for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
how was the live performance different from the record, you think?
Oh, live was way more in your face. And you can understand, I found you could understand it more too, because I would have never picked up that you're playing the bass pedal, but that's the sound that's coming out of it.
Yeah.
Like I would have never put two and two together.
Yeah, it's the same as on the record. We're doing, yeah, it's, when you hear the record, I mean, you could have a bass player and just never know it, but no, I am the bass player at the same time, so.
Now you guys played a variety of venues so far on this tour. Which ones have you found you've liked the most?
Well, the big stages are great, of course, because you know, it's nice to put on a great big show and lots of people and stuff. But a show like tonight is really great too, because people are right up close to you. You know, you get immediate response from folks, so it's really good in that regard.
Yeah.
Playing Massey Hall was something special for me. It was my first time, so it was great.
Yeah, it was just neat watching guys try to make eye-to-eye contact, try not to lose each other. Is Sit Down Serving going to be like a one tour, one CD kind of episode, or are you going to keep going on with it?
Oh, I bet we'll keep going.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really, the response to it has been really great, so we'll keep on doing it, you know.
Yeah, no matter the size of the venue, it's been good, you know. Bars are a little wilder, you know.
And we're already talking about, you know, new songs to record and stuff like that, so, you know, I'm sure we'll find ourselves in the studio again before long, make a follow-up record too.
And how did this project even come to be? Like, I've read a couple interviews beforehand, but I was just interested in hearing it for myself as well, so it's not uncut.
Got a call. George Thorogood was doing a tour across Canada and needed an opening act, and it got offered to a couple of the bands that I'm in, and nobody could do it. Because nobody wanted to do it, but no one was available. I was like, oh man, I want to go on that tour. I want to play Massey Hall and the Jubilee Auditorium and all these places. I really wanted to do that. I'd had surgery on my hand earlier in the year for carpal tunnel syndrome. And you see me putting a cold can of pop on it right now. So I was unable to play. You know, I didn't really have a plan in place for getting better either. And when that gig got offered, I thought, oh, well, man, that's what I'll do is I'll start a band with Steph. It would just be the two of us. I can play the pedals, so, you know, if I need a little more time for my hand to catch up, I got it, you know.
Yeah.
So it's been really great for just get my hands back to being limber and feeling good. And so this was originally constructed to not only do the tour, but also kind of a bit of rehabilitation for me. But it's just so much fun now. I guess I'll just keep, even after I'm rehabilitated, we'll keep on going.
Yeah, that was a scary moment when I started reading that in an interview. I kind of like read the highlight and I'm like, what? No way. I was like, holy Christ.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe that.
Yeah, it was a pretty scary moment. But we got focused on this pretty soon after. I mean, I'm the kind of person that would rather just take a positive view of it anyway. You know, I hate to be downtrodden by my own gloom and doom, you know. So, yeah, when you have something positive to focus on, I just think you heal a lot quicker anyway, you know. So, I didn't get too bogged down by it. I was pretty scared at first, but...
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine what would be going through your head at that moment.
Well, you know, the thought of what might happen or how bad it might be is worse than the reality of it always. So I just refused to get beaten down by it. I just thought, man, I'll just get back on the horsey and start playing. Yeah.
This is also music you've said you've played around the house. as well. It's like, fuck, it'd be awesome to be a fly on the wall at your house if you're just jamming to that every day.
Yeah, in reality, I never was a sit around and play guitar every day kind of guy. I think about music all the time, and when I sing just for myself, I usually sing gospel music or old blues songs, but mostly gospel songs. That's my walk around the house and sing stuff. Blues music, you got to be in a certain frame of mind, and it's usually late at night, and there's usually liquor and drugs involved. But if I'm walking around my house, I'm not in that frame of mind. I'm not a party animal at home. You know what I mean? Somebody's walking around cooking dinner or whatever. So all that music is really familiar to me, and it just seemed like a good place to start in terms of songs that I could just naturally gravitate towards, and I've been singing them for so long it didn't require too much working it out on my part. I just could just do what my hand could do. It's only going to do. I can only play what I can play. I mean, I can't do everything that comes to mind, so I just don't think about that stuff. I just just do what it's going to do.
Because I remember hearing a couple stories when you used to come to Kingston way back in the day with Big Sugar, that you used to always go over to Brian Record Options and pretty much run the shelves out, fill up the van or the tour bus, whatever you had at the point in time. The old country albums. That's
really true, man. Mr. Chill from Big Sugar, man. You better get there before he does, because he's going to get all the good country records before you do. Yeah, no, man. We used to fill the bus up all the time with records from there, and from time to time we still do that. I got really back into vinyl a lot more lately. Because I have a 11-year-old son, so he's starting to dig vinyl. So I'm starting to get back into it. Dug out. I've got about 3,000 records, so we pulled them all out and we're giving them the history of the history of modern music. Yeah.
Now, who worked on the album? Like, who helped you produce? And then I heard there's like a couple extra of backing vocals as well.
Oh, in my gospel quartet, the Jesus 4. And Jacob Skiba is a fellow who'd been working with me as an assistant years ago when he was a kid. He was like 18 years old when I started working with him. And we've been working together about 10 years, so he's somebody that I really trust behind the controls. And I was going through a lot, obviously, with my hand and all that stuff, and we had to put it together pretty quick. So I just needed a guy behind the board that I knew I could really trust. And Jacob and I sort of have an unspoken level of communication, where we make records like while other people are making their lunch, we can get a record made, So he produced the record with me. He's a great booster for me, just real supportive and loved the idea, and his enthusiasm made me really want to do it, even though I was sitting there going, I don't know, can I play today? I don't know, man. And he's like, oh man, why'd you do that one? Remember that one, that song? He was walking around singing, like, oh yeah, okay. So he was an essential part of making the record too.
Now who provided the backing vocals?
The Jesus 4, a gospel quartet down in Austin.
Now I heard a couple of the influences. Now I was really wondering what influenced what, what your projects influenced what, because I could hear a lot of Big Sugar in a couple of songs.
See, the thing is, though, you might hear what sounds like little bits of Grady or Big Sugar or whatever in it, but that's just because it's me. I don't cross-reference my own body of work when I'm making something. I'm just making it. This is just me and Steph playing together, so of course it's going to have some of that flavor. It's the same guys. We just do what we do. I didn't purposely set out to make it different from Big Sugar or the same. as anything. You know, we just made it. It's kind of easier in the analysis of it to, you know, maybe point out things here or there, but it wasn't done willfully or.
Okay, yeah, that makes total sense. I wasn't sure if it was just a realm or if it was just you playing the way you play, or if you actually intentionally took something from each project.
No,
that's cool.
Not intentional at all. No.
Since you seem to be just like a modern day Neil Young, going from project to project, just kind of jumping around. So now, are you ever going to do an acoustic tour up in Canada instead of Austin, getting all these great shows?
Yeah, probably at some point. Would like to do some more acoustic music with Kelly Hoppy. We love that kind of music, and we'd love to do that again. But playing that music is a bigger responsibility from my hands. So I think this is kind of taking a priority for me now because, you know, it's what I can do, and it's getting me better real quick. So.
Because I think all the videos on the internet that I've seen, the one you did with Sirius Radio with the Trues, All Hell for the Basement, I think of those 70,000 hits, probably 35,000 of those are coming from me just rewatching that video.
Cool. Yeah, there's some really good acoustic posts up on YouTube of us at. There was a show up in northern Alberta that we did last year. I can't remember where that was, just outside of Edmonton. But there's a bunch of really good acoustic stuff up there. I picked up a banjo or an acoustic guitar recently, and I was kind of like, ooh, I'm not ready yet.
Yeah.
No, not ready yet. But give it a minute.
Now the boots haven't come off in the Grady camp yet?
No, that's not a done deal yet. We got a new drummer recently, and Trinidad Leal is the bomb. We love his drumming, and he's down in Austin. We got a couple shows together this summer, and again, man, it all is hinging on my health and welfare a little bit. So we'll see how we do a couple Grady shows, see how that feels, and then we'll start working on some new music.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for your time. I'll let you go back down there. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.